What's the number one mistake people make when they hurt their knee?
They ignore it. That's where their pain sticks around way longer than it should. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Nick, and we're physical therapists.
We've worked with anyone from professional athletes to your everyday average Joe.
And knee injuries are one of the most common injuries we see. Today we're breaking down what this mistake looks like,
why it's so damaging,
and how you can actually fix your knee
the right way. Let's get into it. You know, I had a client come to me and he started playing a lot more racket sports. It started getting nicer. He got really into pickleball craze and the padel craze. And he went from maybe playing, 20, 30 minutes, let's throw like a small number out. And then, I want to play a lot more because I'm getting better and I want to train. And you go from 20, 30 minutes, and you ramp up and you're playing 2.5 hours a day. Now your body can't catch up. Really, your tendons can't catch up as fast as your muscles. So he basically gave himself like tendonitis that could have been addressed either with a slower progression or just doing the right things, loosening up your body, some foam rolling, some muscle therapy, and some strengthening exercises. Unfortunately, in his case, he kept playing through and probably using some sort of NSAIDs to help with the pain when he was playing. That led to limping, which led to his hip starting to bother him. So then we had to start addressing more than just what his original problem was with his knee, or how much load he was taking. He's an example, and there's countless examples. I've had marathon runners, people that have never ran marathons, and they started doing marathon training. Very similar story, maybe different parts where they have pain. Maybe it's more on the IT band side. They have to hit their miles, or they think they need to follow this plan, hit their miles. They go from a non-runner or like maybe 5-10 miles recreationally, and then they run 25 miles the first few weeks and like 25 miles each, or ramp up so fast, and then they're coming in banged up, limping. I don't know if I can get this marathon done. I don't know if I can get my training. And like you're 3-4 weeks in on a 20-week plan. So it's the same story, just a different name, a different client, a different part of the knee that led to them having just so much load without the right things to unload them and allow them to keep doing that same activity.
The biggest thing is like you have a knee injury and you let it fester. I'm just gonna let it rest. Maybe it does get better, but then you go back to your regular routine, it's not fully recovered, and also now it becomes worse. Now you get to the point where you have patella tendonitis. Now we have to take a step back because there's inflammation in the tendon and your activity has to be modified now. It's like, well, I need to go out and run. It's like, now we need to really scale back because the tendon's already compromised, and now we have to wait a lot longer, where if we addressed whatever the knee problem was, re-educated the quads, took the load off the tendon and all that, maybe it's 2 weeks where, okay, cool, we calmed it down, now let's ramp you back up, versus you let it sit, now you're 6 weeks in, now you have really bad pain, and we're 6 weeks into the injury. Now we need to wait another 6 weeks before we really can get you back to speed, so now you just lost 3 months. You have a little pain, that's a signal, and it might be really light, the sound is really small, right? So take care of it right then and there before it, that noise keeps growing and growing and gets louder and louder, and to the point where you have a headache. Like you want to avoid that. So that's a simple breakdown. Take care of whatever pain right away. That can be taken for the knee to every other body part.
So what should you do?
The first step is getting it assessed.
A good assessment looks at the whole chain.
Knee pain is rarely just a knee issue.
Weak hips,
your knee takes a hit.
tight calves,
your knee takes a hit. Here's the difference. Without an assessment, you're just guessing.
So with an assessment, you'll know if you need mobility, strengthening, or muscle therapy treatment.
And that's clarity. And it saves you months of trial and error.
We'll see people that may have tried the mobility route through PT, or they've done the strengthening route and maybe they plateaued and they now are on the hands-on treatment. So whether they've been assessed or not, they did do the guesswork and they went through the other things, and it just wasn't either get them to 100% or it didn't get them where they wanted to be. So then they come to see us, they get the hands-on treatment, and that's the thing that again gets them back. And oh, I didn't feel my knee, I played my racket sport and it was much better. I made it 2 hours instead of only 30 minutes, and I had to pop a NSAID to get through the rest of the game or the rest of the match.
Muscle therapy is the fix because when we're working the tissues, whether it's a quad that's pulling on the patella tendon, if that is really tight, what we'll do with muscle therapy is we'll lengthen and soften that tissue, and that automatically is going to take the load off that tendon and give it some reprieve so it can start to recover, especially when you're sleeping. When we're doing the muscle therapy and we're re-educating those muscles to work the way they should, and that's going to create less friction at the knee joint, so everything should be moving smoothly.
Yeah, I think that you can make a traffic analogy where you have a road, there's some potholes, you're not going to be able to go as fast. And with the muscle therapy, you're basically like smoothing out the road, any potholes, anything that may cause you, almost like a speed bump if it's kind of causing you to slow down so you don't wreck your car. We're coming in there, cleaning out any sort of restrictions, allowing these fibers just to be a little bit more even. And that's going to allow you to perform better. It's going to allow your muscle to perform better. But at the same time, it's also going to take pressure off the tendon or any part of your knee, especially if you're working other parts like your calf or your hip. That's going to allow you not having to stop or not have to say, oh, I'm feeling something, let me pull back so I don't do anything serious. This is the missing piece in your routine. The game changer, the thing that people come to see us, they're like, yes, this is what I was looking for. I went to this place, I saw these videos, I did this exercise, I did this stretch. I didn't know what I was missing until I came here. Now I feel it.
This is the core message of everything we do on social media. We're trying to give people this information of this is the missing piece in your routine.
It's not magic.
It's anatomy.
If you guys thought this video helped,
then be sure to subscribe and get more information on muscle therapy.